Hello everyone, I'm Mithra. Welcome back. We have a new camera. So I'm testing it out, recording the intro. Hopefully it looks good. I think it looks pretty good. We have, I did a lot of testing and stuff, but just to be clear, the intro right now is what I'm recording with the brand new camera. I did use the old cameras and everything to do the fight. So, just in case I didn't like the setting or I didn't like the way it comes out or if it doesn't render right, since this is the first YouTube video I'm doing with it, I didn't want to... I wanted to stick with what works to make sure I got the fight done. So, it will just be the intro. And then the fight will be with the old stuff. And then we'll see what else happens. But just for now, I just wanted to... This is episode 39. This is Lantern Year 19. This is the year before fighting the Watcher, if we make it there. But I just wanted to remind everybody, I've been asking the question for the last episode, and I've asked it in Discord and stuff. I've been asking around, trying to get feedback, because I want to ensure what everyone's feeling is. Just gauge everyone's feeling on things. First and foremost, do you want to see the Season 2 continue? It doesn't mean I never will continue Season 2. People were asking about that. I want to clarify it. I could go back to it. I'm asking immediately. Like, do we just continue Season 2, depending on what happens with the Watcher? Or maybe I come back to Season 2 later and I start a Season 4. A lot of people seem to be thinking, you know what, go for that Season 4, where we'll do People of the Stars, Manhunter, and Spidicules, and maybe something else in there. Obviously Tyrant would also be in there too, because it would be People of the Stars. That seems to be what a lot of people are suggesting, but just let me know what you think. Just in case it's like a, I'd hate to feel like a silent minority. No, a silent majority and a vocal minority, right? I don't think that's the case, but I would hate to feel that way. So just make sure to comment, and then whether or not you would rather see Season 2 continue. But the plan is, if we make it past Slenderman, Slenderman 2 is Slenderman 2 is hard, so maybe this won't even matter. But if it does end up mattering, maybe it won't. The plan was always to just fight the Watcher with Kenna, and then that's her story arc would be complete, and then I would work on doing, some other stuff. I posted something about Massive Darkness 2. I would go back to Townsfolk Tussle Season 3. I would maybe do a little bit more things now that I have a nice new camera. I could do minis and stuff, pictures of them and everything. And do more focused mini stuff, D&D related, stuff like that, Dwarven Forge related, other mini games. But just let me know what you think. Otherwise, we'll get started on Season 4 after maybe like 2 or 3 week break. Then we get started on Season 4. So, if it even matters, the fight doesn't go well. So, oh, wait a minute. It's just quick jump in, because I remembered I needed to mention the fact that so what ends up happening? There's a little thing happened here with the knowledge worm. I have to explain it. I didn't want to explain it when I was setting up. I want to explain it in the intro. There's a flux. I had to look this all up, right? There's just so many weird rules with this game that they're not weird rules. It's just timing issues, because so many things interact with so much stuff at so many different times. So, here's what I'm talking about. We had the knowledge worm. Everybody we had to select. Here's how it goes. Here's the settlement phase. You get to the end of the settlement phase when you're done with everything. Then you do Departing Survivors. Then Departing Survivors remove the gear off the old survivors. So, in that moment, let's say you had a almanac on a retired survivor, right? Where when they depart, they get -3 hunt experience. So you'd be like, well, I could choose them as a departing survivor and then they get -3 hunt experience. Well, no, that's not how it would work, right? That's logic. Obviously, that's how it's not supposed to work. So that proves that departing bonuses happen separately, or when it says when you depart is different from departing survivors. So departing survivors must be the first step in that phase, right? So when it says departing survivors get something, right? Get 2 insanity from Lantern Research, or from like Darkwater Research, for example. Departing survivors gain +2 insanity. You add that to them while you're building your gear grid. Then, once you've put them together and now you've settled on it, then it gets the when you depart bonus, right? So, like I said, with Almanac, it would prevent you from nominating a retired survivor for departure, right? Because you can't nominate them for be a departing survivor. And as part of that, limiting them from getting the gear to give them -3. So that's very clear intentions. However, with the Knowledge Worm and with things like the Slenderman settlement events, Slenderman settlement events say after departing, so it's clearly means after departing is when the hunt phase begins, and that's the end of the settlement phase, right? So the hunt phase begins at the end of the settlement phase. However, with Knowledge Worm, it says when departing, if survivors have 10 insanity, then this triggers, right? So it's departing survivors get their bonus when you're putting their gear on them. Now that you've selected all their gear, now they get their on departure, or when departing, or when you depart. Then they get that. So it goes departing survivor bonus, when you depart gains, then there's a flux moment in which then Knowledge Worm could trigger. So it did trigger, right? Because at that moment, I had someone who had 10 survivor, or 10 insanity, which would trigger Knowledge Worm because it still needs to trigger as part of the settlement phase. Then, when the hunt starts, then you gain after departing bonuses, which would be from the Slenderman settlement event. Then, after all that, because I'm fighting the Slenderman, after all that happens, then I set their insanity back to 0. Because that's when I set up for so there is no hunt, because it's a nemesis, right? So that convoluted mess is how we ended up with Knowledge Worm triggering, even though fighting the Slenderman says you set your survivor to 0. Or set your survivors to 0 insanity. It doesn't trigger right away. It's not something that you do when you're departing. And it's also not... And the other effect of me not getting insanity when I departed until after departing, you reset all your bonus after departing. So that means I hadn't, as I was leaving the settlement, Knowledge were triggered. It's very weird and very convoluted, right? I don't even like explaining it. But just in case someone was like, Knowledge Worm shouldn't trigger because you set your insanity, there's so many different things, right? There's no need for there to be departing survivor gains, when you depart gains, after departure abilities, and showdown setup things trigger. There's too much stuff triggering, right? It should just be all at one time and then just figure it out. But there's 4 different phases to it, and it's really annoying, but that's how I played it. So I don't even like talking about it because it's just so nitpicky, and I don't want to sound negative. It's just something I had to sit down and think about because the game forced me into this situation. So that's it. Now I explained it. Enjoy the showdown. Alright, here we are. Everything's set up for the Slenderman. Now, you'll notice here I have Knowledge Worm out. So, with Knowledge Worm, at the start of each settlement phase, add 1 scrap. We did that, but then departing survivors gain 3 survival and 3 insanity. If any of those survivors have 10 plus insanity, a gracious host. So, as I was talking about in the intro, there's a weird... It's weird, it's weird. So we just have to roll on this. Like I said, I explained it in the intro. So let's just roll. on this gracious host here. So for gracious host, we need the highest survival, or the highest insanity, which is going to be Jill. So let's just go ahead and roll and see what happens. So a 7 is what we got. So, Death's Embrace. You feel your jaw dislocate and the blood vessels in your throat and chest cavity burst as a gigantic worm somehow forces its way into your body. Your veins burn as if being replaced by currents of white-hot silver. Through the agony, you suddenly understand the source of the Lion God's immortality and madness. The settlement loses the Knowledge Worm innovation, archive it, and gain the Necromancer secret fighting art. So, we lose this. We gain the Necromancer secret fighting art. So, Necromancer. When you depart, gain +1 armor to all hit locations for each gear card in your gear grid with the symbol keyword. If you would roll on the severe injury table, roll on the wound trauma table on the other side of this card instead. And there's the wound trauma. So this is Jill. Jill is now a Necromancer. So she has that secret fighting art. Necromancer. And there we go. Now we are done with that. Now I have everything set up here for the Slenderman. Let's go ahead and talk about Slenderman now. So, Slenderman here is a level 2 Slenderman. So he's got 8 basic, 6 advanced, 1 legendary. He's got 6 movement, 13 toughness, +1 speed, +1 damage, +1 accuracy. And then he's got his traits here. So let's go ahead, give him his +1 speed, +1 damage, +1 accuracy. So +1 speed, what is it? +1 accuracy, +1 damage. +1 speed, +1 accuracy, +1 damage. So there we go. Now he's got Ensnare, which is this. Survivor rolls 1d10, unless the result is higher than their Insanity or a Lantern 10 Dark Place. And then additional effects. -2 to the roll, because he's a monster level 2. Then we have Gloom. Remove the Slenderman from the Showdown board, then place it adjacent to the target and as far as possible from all other survivors. So that's Gloom. And finally, the last one is Madness Inversion, which is this. Every survivor has this survival status, or survivor status, I mean. You may spend an action to suffer a random brain trauma and plunge into the unknown. If you do, even if you die, archive another survivor's pod imprisonment status card and place that survivor in a non-occupied corner of the Showdown board. So that's Madness Inversion. Everybody can do that. And then there's these 2 other cards that could or could not possibly happen. Pod imprisonment. There's lots of other stuff. So that's everything. So we are departing with Kenna. So Kenna has 2 at every hit location. She's got 8 survival and then 0 insanity. Then the same here with Jack, who also is departing. Jack is going to have 8 survival. Pretty much everybody's got max survival. Everyone's going to be at the limit. So there's no real need to explain everybody's survival. They're not different. So then, like I said, then Jack, this is his gear grid. He's now got Necromancer's Eye and Wisdom Potion, so very nice. Then we're departing with Atrium, who's going to be tanking. He's got the new Beacon Shield. Very nice. Again, 7 at all in hit locations this time. And then Jill, who just became Necromancer, who's now wearing full Rawhide, so that's nice. And then she will also have max survival. So, with that said, that is everything. I mean, the terrain. Oh, so you always start with a bug patch. That's normal. 3 stone columns, also normal. And then I drew Acanthus, because you start with 1 random. So I just put them here. The tactic for Slenderman is to try to cluster up in the middle of the board or stay as close as possible to other survivors. Just because when he removes himself and teleports around, and then when he does eventually teleport back, he'll teleport near the target. And if everybody's clustered up, then you can surge and do everything right then and there because you'll be right next to him. So that's the goal. We do go first, but we're not going to be able to do much of anything, so we're just all going to move forward. So, let's go ahead, and we will do that. Let's see. There's no real way. I think I could surge, possibly. Remember, because now everybody's not insane, or nobody's insane, Kenna can't activate her Twilight Sword because she's not insane, and she's going to use the Adventure Sword. Same goes for with the Phoenix Placard and stuff because we're not insane. We got to try to get that active. The only other thing, so Jack is also using the Black Sword, but not actually a Sword Master. And then the other thing is, where is, actually, you know what, I should probably grab, I just realized I'm using the Yisa Mini. Let me just go grab a better representation of a survivor. Okay, so there we have just a male survivor with a sword. It's a better representation, kind of, I guess. So, now, let's go ahead, and I don't think there's just going to be too much we can do here. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this is the person I could probably dash with. So Jill could dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, even dashing, Jill can't get there. So let's just go with 5, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, there's no real way of doing that. So why I did this instead of, because I could have gone like this, that way, more towards the center. This way, if he does appear like over here, I can place him here, and then at least I could dash to get to him or something like that. So it's still, I'll slowly do this and close in on the middle. That way 2 survivors are at least able to attack in one round. Where if I would have went like this way, and this way, it wouldn't have happened. So, that's it. That's the first turn. Unfortunately, we're just not able to get near him or anything. So, now, first turn for Slenderman. Do you believe? Threat with least insanity. That's anybody. I get to choose. They all have 0 at this moment because I had to start. And then target gains 3 insanity. Okay, I don't even know if they can reach them. Perform gloom. Okay, yeah, so there's going to reach them because of gloom, which just means remove the Slenderman from the showdown board, and then place it adjacent to the target. So gloom will reach them, and then they'll attack. So like I said, I get to pick because everybody's got least insanity. So obviously, I'm just going to pick Atrium, who's tanking. Obviously, I blocked with Atrium because he's got block 2. I obviously deflected with Kenna. So I should actually put a deflect token for her, just so I remember. Because she has the plated shield, so her deflect token stays. She doesn't need to block all the time. And then, that's it. So block 2, deflect with Kenna. Okay, now, so... Oh, I removed this. I don't think he's going to hit, that's why I removed this. So he's going to gloom, and he's going to go to here, because that's away from the most survivors. It's just away. That person's the next closest. And then, I guess technically this is away farther from her, but it's not like it matters. She wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway. So then it's going to be, 3 speed, accuracy 4, but it needs a 10 because Atrium has 6 evasion. So it just needs it needs a 10. 3 speed, 10. It needs 3 10s to do anything. That is not 3 10s. So why I said 3 10s because he had block 2. Actually, he couldn't have done anything. I would have spent a survival to dodge. So that's nothing. There we go. Didn't even need to block. Okay. So now, as I said, that's his turn. Now we will. There's no ensnare because no damage was dealt. So, again, goal is to get to the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I should probably go back 1 like this, back 1 like that, just in case they target these 2. Now, can Jack get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jack could get there by surging, so I'll probably want to do that. Just sucks that I put the bow and Kenna on the same side. That kind of sucks. I was smart enough to use Jack on a way opposite from Kenna, but I should have thought about the bow person. But whatever. Okay, let's just go with Atrium first. Or no, I should probably go with Jack first. Jack has the Necromancer's Eye. Yeah, let's go ahead and Necromancer's Eye with Jack first, and then we'll see if we want to even go over there. So I get to reveal the 4. 2, 4, and put them back in any order. Okay. So, yeah, Necromancer's Eye is basically Cat Eye Circlet, only it's 4. So this is +2 toughness, reflex, place the monster 5 spaces from attacker, as far from other survivors as possible. Cancel all hits now out of range, so that sucks. He's going to move, so we might not want that. This one's okay. We can just do memory lapse. Suddenly find yourself attacking something you've never seen before. Attacker gains +3 insanity. If you have blotted out, so it's fine. Failure and snare. So that would mean that Atrium, if he were to attack, he's got Riot Mace, which would be 5. He's got 4 strength. That would be a 9. He would need to hit on it'd be a 4+ to wound that. It's pretty likely that would wound, so I could put that one on top. If Jack attacked that, it would automatically hit pretty much. So this is also Ensnare Attacker. Place the Slenderman at the center of the Showdown board. Cancel all hits now out of range. That would move him to the center of the Showdown board, which would be great because these two are on their way there. I could then dash and shoot at him. So, and then we have this next one. Ignore this reaction if attacking with a fist and tooth. Otherwise, something unseen swallows your weapon. If the attacker is adjacent to the monster, all remaining hits are canceled. The attacker weapons is lost and archived unless they fall into the dark place. So that's really bad. The parts unknown reflex is really bad. I would have to attack with fist and tooth to avoid something like that. I don't really want to do that. So, the attacker's weapon is lost and archived unless they fall into dark place. So, parts unknown would probably... I guess we could do parts unknown first. So we're going to go parts unknown, then memory lapse, then the one where he goes to the middle. So we're going to go this route, and we're just going to attack with fist and tooth with Atrium. Not a big deal. Oh, I forgot he got +1 speed. Is that a 10? Still missed. He needs a 10 to hit, so it's still a miss. Doesn't matter. Even with this +1 accuracy, he still needed a 10 because... No. So he would have hit on a 9. I didn't roll any 9s either. So I just had to remember he's got +1 accuracy as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and attack with Fist and Tooth just to get rid of that card. So, attacking Fist and Tooth, and Atrium has 1 accuracy. So he's going to hit on a, 7+? So 7+ to hit with his Fist and Tooth. That's fine. 7+ to hit. Good enough. So here we go. Just needs to hit once. We do. So 7+ to hit. Just because we just want to get rid of this hit location with the Fist and Tooth thing. So as we did, we put it first. Ignore this reaction of attacking with Fist and Tooth. So there we go. We're just ignoring it. Now he could wound Possible Eye, but it's not likely. He's got 4 strength. Slenderman has 13 toughness, so a 9 or a 10. That's also a crit. So he can just crit 9 or a 10. It's not a wound, so it doesn't matter. But now this card's gotten rid of. So parts unknown, gotten rid of that. Now we could go in with Jack if we wanted to. I guess that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He would have to dash, which is fine. So Jack can dash, come down to 7 survival. So he'll go in and dash. And then surge. to come down because he did Necromancer's Eye. So surging. So Jack attacks with the Black Sword, which is an accuracy 5+. So that's perfectly fine. Accuracy 5+ with the Black Sword for Jack. Okay, he doesn't have... Okay, that's fine. So that's 2, or 1 hit, I mean. So on 1 hit, we know what this is. It's the memory, memory one. So he gains +3 insanity. He doesn't have anything. His failure is a 1 because he's Black Sword has 10 strength. He's got 3 strength, so that's 13, which is the toughness. So he just fails on a 1. So that's not a failure. That's 1 wound. Okay. 1 wound. That's fine. I guess we surge with Atrium to block 2, and now we just hope that it attacks Atrium. So, with that said, let's just hope that it attacks Atrium, yeah. Surging to block 2. Threat with most insanity, which is actually Jack, because I just forgot I had to give him 3 insanity. So he's at 3 insanity, so that's going to be Jack. Then target gains 1 insanity, so that's 4 insanity for Jack now, who is now insane. Activates his placard, so that's fine. And then perform Gloom, which just kind of puts him here. I mean, he doesn't even move. Technically, I don't even think he moves. I don't think he even moves. Because if I move him right here, he's still adjacent to Atrium. He can't move anywhere here to get non-adjacent to Atrium. So, technically, I don't even think I'll move him just for sakes of moving him. Because I don't know. Maybe he should move. Maybe Gloom should trigger still. I don't know. It wouldn't have mattered, I don't think. And then attack target, which is 3 speed. Or 4 speed, because he's got +1 speed. Jack has 2 evasion, 1 from Rhythm Chaser, 1 just natural evasion. So that's 2 evasion. So it's going to be a 3 speed or 4 speed, 4 speed, 4 plus 2 with 6 plus -1 because the Slenderman has accuracy. So it's a 4 speed 5 plus. Wow, that's only 1 hit. That was a 3. So it's only 1 hit, which it's fine. I could just dodge it. So Jack will just dodge it. He'll come down to 5 survival. Actually, he doesn't even need to do that because he is insane. So he's still at 6 survival, and then the placard will just get rid of it. If insane, ignore the first hit each round and suffer 1 brain damage. So he'll go back down to 3. Still insane, even at 3. So he'll just ignore the hit that way. Doesn't even need to dodge it. So, now he hasn't moved, hasn't done anything. Still, I get to play with this one up, even though I know what it is already. I get to play with it up because of Wisdom Potion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get to here, and that way, if he does teleport himself there, I can still shoot him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get to here. I'm going to save the Acanthus plants just in case this gets out of hand and people start getting a lot of damage, but we'll see. So now the second one I think was going to send him down to the middle of the board. So I'll just attack with Jack now, knowing that the second one down is going to do that. So ensnare attacker, place the sentiment. Oh, it's actually this card. Well, that's fine because I won't get to do it right away. I can always pick it later. But okay, so Black Sword. Let's go ahead and just attack with Jack right now. Black Sword, 3 speed, accuracy, 5 plus. So let's go. 1 hit. So never mind. I do have to resolve this one right now. So this is going to happen. The reflex, unless he crits. So Jack crits on a 9 plus. 9 plus for Jack to crit. So, other than that, anything but a 1 is a wound. So it just needs to be a 9 plus, which would be great. That's close, but that's a wound. So then the reflex is going to happen, which is going to ensnare the attacker, and then he's going to go to the center of the showdown board, which is fine. So that goes there. That's 1 hit or 1 wound from the black sword. He's going to go to the center of the showdown board, which is great, right where I knew he'd be. So next, we're going to ensnare, which is this card. Again, Survivor rolls 1d10. Unless the result is higher than their insanity or Lantern 10, they dark place. And this is -2 to the roll result. So this was Jack. So he needs to roll a 1. Because he has 3 insanity, he gets a -2. So if he rolls a 1, he's not ensnared. A 4, he is ensnared. Then they dark place. So now he's going to dark place. So I have dark place already right here because I knew this would happen. Dark place. The survivor looks on in horror as black water inexplicably pools around their feet. They are imprisoned. Suddenly, the ground gives way. The survivor is swallowed by an angry portal of dark water sloshing on the ground. Nothing but damp stones remains in their place. As they plummet into a pitch-black ocean, slimy leaves lash their panicked, drowning body in the darkness. The survivor is trapped and gains the pot imprisonment. Survivor status card. They will attempt to break free in subsequent survivor turns. Okay, so I don't roll right away. I didn't need to put this here. It's subsequent survivor turns. So they're just pot imprisoned right now, which is fine. So this is pot imprisonment. So when you gain this, remove your survivor from the showdown board and place them on this card. At the start of the survivor's turn, dark place. So they do this right away at the start of the survivor's turn because of where the comma is located, or the apostrophe is located. They do it at the beginning of the entire round, the survivor's whole turn, not just their specific turn. So that's the end of that. That's the end of that reflex. Now, we didn't go with Atrium yet, so we will, and we will block with him, but then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get him to here. And now we are blocking with him, so he's got his block too. He's not on the board. I'm just putting him there so I remember to do it at the start of the turn. Actually, here. I can put it over here. There. Now I'll remember to do it as well, because it's near all the dice. Okay. Now we dash with Kenna. And Surge... No, we just dash. She doesn't need to do anything. She still has her deflect token. So, we dash in with Kenna. Next, she comes down to 7. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to still dash with her, but not right now. So, let's shoot first, because we don't need to do anything to do... We don't need to dash to shoot. We just can shoot. So, we're shooting with the Clawhead Arrow, which is 1 speed. It's going to be a 6+ to hit with the Clawhead Arrow. Again, I can do it because the arrow is not cumbersome like the bow is. So, 6+ just to hit. And let's go ahead. So, 8, that is a hit. That applies the -1 evasion to the monster because of the hit. So now he's got -1 evasion. And we draw this, which we know what it is. It's the super dense one. So, this is going to happen as well. It's going to move 5 spaces away from the attacker, which will stop Kenna from doing it, which is... So, she doesn't need to dash... Or she's not going to need to dash. If this... Well, it's going to happen unless they crit. So, the crit on this is on a 9. Otherwise, it is Cloud Arrow 6. She has 2. That's 8. So, she would need a 5 to wound or crit on a 9. 5 to wound, critting on a 9. So that's a wound. It's not a critical, so now the reflex goes. Place the monster 5 spaces from the attacker, as far from all other survivors as possible, and cancel all hits. But we got the hit in. Now it's 5 spaces away, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is just here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 back, 5. And now cancel all the hits. So now we're all good. Now it is the Slenderman's turn. We will something we can do. I can play with this up because of the thing. Little ones. This is not good. All survivors. Perform amnesia. Then place the monster at the center of the showdown board. So amnesia is its instinct. So amnesia is here. Remove the Slenderman from the showdown board. All survivors gain +1 insanity. The monster will remain removed from the showdown board till a card or an effect. So everybody's going to gain 1 insanity, and then place the monster at the center of the showdown board. So he does it, and then he comes right back at the center of the showdown board. Now there is breaks, so I could break here and attack him. No matter where the survivors turned, someone appears to be standing right in front of them. Each survivor suffers damage equal to their insanity to a random hit location. If anybody suffers 1 to the head, they are knocked down. I guess why risk it, right? So we're gonna surge at these. We're gonna dash and surge at these breaks, with Kenna at least. Dashing and surging. So she comes down to 6 because dash and surge. So remember, this is the break. It's before this happens. She's going to gain the 1 insanity. So I'm just putting this card. We're just going to put this card here to remember to resolve it. But she's going to gain her 1 insanity. Everybody gains 1 insanity. Even the survivor in pod imprisonment, because he's not technically dead. So he was targeted, as it's all survivors. I'm pretty sure. So he goes up to 4 insanity. Everybody gains 1. Now we're attacking and surging. So Kenna is 3 speed with the adventure sword, accuracy 6+. He's got -1 evasion now, so it's accuracy 5+. She's got 3 accuracy, so it's an accuracy 2+. That is 3 hits. Now, before this, let me just roll because I forgot. We are still in Rawhide, so spending to dash, let's see if I gain it back. I do, so that puts me back up to 8. Because the Thrill Seeker, we have that, so that puts her, she's back up to 8. Whoop. Okay. We got 3 hits, so we know this one. This one. We're going to gain a bunch of insanity, it looks like. This one, you suddenly forget what is happening. If you have blotted out +4, we don't, so we're going to go ahead and do that one first, just because it's impervious. Then we're going to go, so so we'll go through these, just look the best route. So like I said, we're just going to do this one first. We don't have blotted out, so we don't gain +4, but it's impervious. We could still at least critically wound it. So if we do critically wound, we would need a 8. So on an 8, we do something, otherwise nothing happens. So nothing happens. It's impervious. We can't wound it. Okay. So that was resolved. Now let's go ahead and look at this one. So attacker gains 3 insanity. That puts her up to 4. And failure, which I don't know if we can. Well, I mean, we can. You get a 1. So Adventure Sword has strength 9. She's got strength 5. That's 14. It's got toughness 13. So just a 1. That's actually critical. Attacker gains +1 survival. And suffers 3 brain damage, so she comes down to 1 insanity again. She can't gain any more survival. She would have gained 2 because of Thrill Seeker, so that's a critical. That's 1 wound. Now, we're going to gain 3 insanity, so she goes back up to 4 now. Then what do we do? On a wound, which is probably likely to happen, so a crit on an 8 or a wound on anything but a 1. So that's a wound. Place the attacker in the furthest unoccupied corner of the showdown board. Cancel all hits now out of range. That's fine. Because remember, we're dashing and surging during his turn. Furthest unoccupied. I guess he's in the center, so whatever. She can go back where she started. I guess it could technically be that one. They're probably all equidistant. I don't know where its frame of reference is. If it's furthest from the Slenderman, they're all equidistant. If it was further from the origin of her attack, I guess. I don't know. Should really be more clear with these things, but it's equidistant. She's in the center of the board, so she can just go back over there. It's easier. Cancel all hits now out of range. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we got all our survival back from doing all that dashing and surging. Now we're going to resolve the rest of this card. So, we're done. We did it at the break, and now no matter where the survivors turn, the Slenderman appears to be standing right in front of them. Each survivor suffers damage equal to their insanity to a random hit location. If a survivor suffers damage to the head location, they are knocked down. So now they're all going to suffer damage equal to their insanity. So, I guess actually Jack can't be targeted by this, I guess. So, I thought maybe he could with amnesia, but I don't think he can be targeted by amnesia because he's not going to be targeted by this, little ones. So, alright, oops, wrong dice. So now I need to say random hit location equal to their insanity. And so kind of to the legs. That's a heavy injury because it's 4 damage for her insanity. So that's a heavy injury, which is she's knocked down. It's fine. And then now we have Jack. Oh, well, no, Jack doesn't have to roll. So this was to Atrium, I guess, who's knocked down, but he gets 3 to the head, which puts him at, he was at 7, puts him at 4 to the head location. I wonder if he, no, I don't think you could technically block this. Oh no, he only gets 1. I was looking at Jack's insanity, who's at 3. He only gets 1 damage to the head, but he's still knocked down because someone took damage to the head. Now Jill, who's only going to take 1 damage as well to the legs. So she comes down to 1 on her legs. Now, Jill will shoot. Or no, first things first. Pod imprisonment now. So pod imprisonment, let's just go ahead and roll and I'll just read it. I already read the whole thing. So they're trapped inside of a thing. They struggle. They set the survivor's sanity to 0, which, okay, now Jack is at 0 insanity. And they roll 1d10. 3. Gain 2 bleed tokens and remain trapped. Okay, so he's going to gain 2 bleed tokens and remain trapped. So not great, but I do have bandages. I did bring them. So now 2 bleed tokens and remains trapped. Now we attack with the bow, the catgut bow, which is 2 speed, 7+ accuracy. He's got -1 evasion. So it's going to be a 6+ to hit with the catgut bow. I get to see this because of Wisdom Potion. This is going to be a reflex. If the attacker is not in the monster's blind spot, they won't be. Their entire body seizes up in terror. Attacker is knocked down and gains 2+ insanity. So I can't move to do that. So whatever. I'm just going to do... Are they knocked down? Yeah, the attacker is knocked down. So I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is encourage first before I attack. This, again, I can see this from Wisdom Potion. So going to encourage Atrium first. No, encourage Kenna first. And then encourage Kenna first. Then she can encourage Atrium, so she'll go down to 7 survival. Now we'll roll to see if she gets it back. She does get it back. So she goes back up to 8, and then she'll encourage Atrium. Okay, now we'll attack with the 2 speed. What is it? 2 speed, hitting on a 6+ with the catgut bow. It's double miss. We're going to re-roll. So 2 speed. We're not using a re-roll. We're re-rolling because of bow specialization. To clarify, because everybody here does have infinite lives and lifetime re-rolls. But okay, so that's 2 hits now. So the one we know one's going to be bad, and hopefully... Oh, the other one's the trap. That's even worse. All survivors are doomed. Okay, that's fine. Good thing we encourage everything. Form basic action, target the attacker. It's a pretty simple trap. All survivors are doomed. Perform basic action, target the attacker, and then ensnare all survivors except the attacker. And Slenderman performs amnesia. So, let's go do this in order. So, basic attack. He's going to gloom there. So, he's not moving forward. His basic attack is glooming, right? Yeah, he glooms on it. So he's going to... This all doesn't matter. Perform basic attack. Perform gloom. It's going to be 3 speed. 3 speed, 4 plus. She's got 1 evasion, so it's a 5 plus. He's got +1 actually, so it's a 4 plus. And she's doomed. So that's going to be 2 hits where she's doomed. So she's going to suffer knockback 7. But she's going to take, oh my gosh, she's going to take 4 damage to 2 locations. That's not good for her. Head and body. So that's a heavy head. No, it's a severe head, heavy body. So severe head, heavy body. Actually, it's a severe body. He's got +1 damage. So severe head and severe body. And then she suffers knockback 7. So that's the trap. Let me resolve the severe injuries real quick. So severe injuries for... Oh no, she doesn't. Jill is a necromancer. So let's go ahead and roll on this. So necromancer, here we go. A 9. The pain is infuriating. Gain 1 bleeding token and +1 strength. So she's going to gain +1 strength token. Okay, so she goes up to 3 strength. She gains a bleed. And then the second, brain trauma again, 3. So she's dead. Well, we'll spend the reroll to reroll on this with her infinite lives. A 9, she gets, again, another bleed. And another +1 strength. So she's now at 2 bleed. 4 strength. And she's used her reroll. So let's go ahead, mark infinite lives. She's used it. Alright. Now, she's knocked down. Alright. Now, all survivors are doomed. That's, what was the other one? Now we ensnare all survivors. Ensnare all survivors, which is everyone's going to probably get this. So, because everyone has such low... Did everybody gain insanity? Nope. Not everybody gains insanity. So this is probably bad. I probably just lost this, actually. Because everyone... So I just need to... So Kenna needs to roll a 2. Nope. Kenna's ensnared. Jack's already ensnared. Atrium needs to roll a 1. Or he's ensnared. And Jill needs to roll. She's going to be ensnared. Okay. Everybody's ensnared now. Very annoying that everybody's ensnared. So, yeah, that's very annoying. So, everybody is ensnared. That is annoying. So, she's no longer knocked down. But the good thing is, it's going to be very quick showdown. So, let's go ahead, reshuffle. Hold on. This is worm trauma. I might need this. Yeah, I'm still going to need worm trauma because I might need to roll that when you get out, I think. It's very likely she's going to need to roll that again. Okay, now we have it's his turn. Well, no, that was so that was the trap. That ends the survivor's turn because everybody's ensnared now. Now I guess it's technically his turn, so we have to draw the card. So it's a mood. So it's going to perform amnesia. Whenever a survivor gains insanity, they gain an additional 1 insanity. So that's fine. Comes into play and perform amnesia, but everybody's ensnared. So amnesia Move the Slenderman from the board. All survivors gain +1 insanity. The monster will remain removed from the showdown board until a card effect returns it. Okay, that's fine. So he's just not there. He's just gone now, which is okay. Everybody's off the board. This is very entertaining camera angle right now. So now we do Kenna, Prod and Prism or Dark Place. Okay, Kenna, a 6, haunted. Place the survivor in an unoccupied corner of the showdown board. Archive Pod Imprisonment. They gain a random disorder and 1 bleeding. So she gains a random disorder, which I don't think she can, right? I forget it. Is it just fighting arts for infinite lives? You cannot gain new fighting arts or disorders when you would instead gain a new lifetime. Yeah, so she can't gain new disorders because of infinite lives. So there's infinite lives, just in case you want to see it again. You cannot gain new fighting arts or disorders when you would gain one. Instead, gain a new lifetime. Give yourself a new name. So she escapes with the bleed token. I can choose, I guess, right? Because he's not on the board. Unoccupied corner of the showdown board. I could have chosen anyone. So, okay, she gains on the unoccupied corner of the showdown board. And she gains a bleed token. It's fine. Now, again, this is the start of the survivor's turn. So no one has gone yet. It's not her turn. She'll still get to go. It's the survivor's turn as a whole. All right, now we go to Jack. Come on, Jack. A 2. Jack's going to die, I think. She's going to gain 2 more bleed tokens. He keeps rolling so low. I'm going to have to... I have to re-roll that, actually. Otherwise, he's dead. So he needs to spend his infinite lives re-roll. He has to re-roll that because otherwise he's dead. You can't escape without gaining... Oh, a 10 plus you could... Yeah, a 10 plus is the only way he would be able to survive then because all the other ones give you 1 bleed. So, need to re-roll. A 4... suffer monster level damage to a random hit location, gain 1 bleed. Okay, so he gains 1 bleed. He's at 3 now. He's going to suffer monster level damage to a random hit location to his waist. So he's going to take 2 to his waist, which just is all of his armor at his waist. Okay. Jack's pretty much dead. There's nothing I could do for Jack. Atrium, wrong dice. Atrium now. He's going to roll. 2. Do I get... Oh, everybody sets their survival insanity to 0. So Kenan set it to 0. 0. Atrium's now at 0. So 2. He's going to get bleed here. 2 bleed. I'm just going to start using these orange cubes because I'm going to run out of bleed tokens. Okay, he's still stuck in there. I don't need to re-roll this time. I'll have to re-roll next time. Now Jill loses all her insanity. She gets to... She rolled a 1. I think she's dead. Random brain trauma and gain a bleeding token. Okay. Is worm brain trauma as well? Whenever you would suffer severe injury. Okay, so she still suffers brain trauma. And gain 1 bleeding token. Okay, so she gains another bleed here. She's at 3 bleed as well. She's going to suffer a brain trauma now. Here we go, brain trauma. 8. Gain a random disorder, which she can't, so she gets her reroll back, and then she's going to gain 1d5 insanity. She gains 5 insanity. Doesn't matter. Her insanity is going to be set to 0 anyway. So whatever, I'll just give her 5 insanity. She gets back her reroll, which is great. So, infinite lives, she has it back now. Okay, now Kenna gets to go, but the Slenderman's not there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. She's just gonna she'll just bandage herself. So... That's it, pretty much. Okay. Slenderman's gonna go now. Oh, they gain additional insanity. It doesn't matter. I only need to track Kenna's insanity. Everyone else gets set to 0. Tentacle spasm. Okay. Okay, random insane survivor. Okay. No target, amnesia. So he's going to do amnesia. Because Kenna's not insane. So amnesia, that gives everybody 1 insanity. The monster, yeah. So he's removed from the board and 1 insanity. So this doesn't happen. So he's going to stay removed from the board and kind of gains 2 insanity because she gains +1. So she's still not insane, but now it's the survivor's turn. Just have to hope to get out now. So Jack needs to break free. 8, I think that is breaking free. Scarred. Place the survivor in an unoccupied corner of the Showdown board. Archive their pot imprisonment. They gain 1 bleeding token and dark water. So Jack is out. He can go there, which is good for him because he gains a bleed token, which puts him at 4. So he needs to be near Kenna to get healed of bleed. He gains a dark water, which I guess I'll track because I might run out of them. It's possible. You only have 5 of them. So let's get a dark water. Okay, so he needs to get healed real quick for bleed. Atrium now. 7. He's also going to break free. Is that also scarred? No, that's haunted. Place the survivor in an occupied corner of the Showdown board. They gain 1 random disorder and 1 bleed. So he's going to gain a bleed. He's going to go over here. And then he gains back his infinite lives reroll because he can't gain disorders. Okay, now for Jill. She isn't going to die because... yeah, so 2. Jill's going to die unless I spend someone else's reroll. I don't really want to do that because I need to be rerolling for Kenna if she ever gets dark placed. Stupid. Okay, well, so Jill's dead. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but what can I do? She already hit with her arrow. She was never going to be able to do much this fight anyway because of the cumbersome bow. Like, it's very hard for her to do anything. So, okay, so Jill's dead. That's the end. That's the... now we actually start the survivor's turn. Let's go ahead with Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4... we'll just get to here to go with Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get to here. Atrium. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kenna will bandage Jack to remove 2 of his bleed tokens. So he is still at 2 bleed, but you know that's better than nothing. Atrium needs to be bandaged as well, but you know it is what it is. I can't really do anything. Okay, next we block with Atrium, I guess, and hope that he appears next to someone. So, next, yep, okay. Threat with least insanity. Okay, so I get to choose, but I'm going to choose Atrium, because Jack and Atrium both have 0 insanity, Kenna has 2. So target gains +2 insanity. That's fine. 2 insanity for Atrium. Okay. Perform Gloom. That returns him to the board. And then attack target. So Gloom returns him to the board here because he needs to be placed away from as many people as possible. And then attack target. So it's 4 speed. What is it? Yeah, 4 speed, 4+ accuracy. Again, this needs... so he has 6 accuracy, but he has 6 evasion, which puts it at 10+. But he's got he's got 1 evasion or 1 accuracy, so it's a 9 or a 10. So it's 4 speed, hitting on a 9 or a 10. Okay, so 1 hit, but again, I blocked 2, so this is just blocked. So that's the end of that. Now, Survivor's turn. See what this is. Memory lapse. Suddenly find yourself attacking something you've never seen before. Attacker gains 3 insanity. Okay, so... I guess we just go 1, 2... No, Kenna needs... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Kenna's going to go to here. That's going to cost her to dash. So she dashes. She comes down to 7. Let's see if she gains back her survival. She does. So she stays at 8. She's going to bandage Atrium to get rid of 2 bleeding tokens. And now she'll surge. Come back down to 7. And... yeah, so come back down to 7. See if she gets it back. She does get it back. So she stays at 8. Now we attack with her. Adventure Sword, which is 3 speed. 6 plus. He's got -1 evasion, so that's a 5 plus. She's got 3 accuracy, which brings it down to a 2 plus. So it's going to be a 3 speed 2 plus. That's 3 hits. Okay, 3 hits. So we know memory loss. Yeah, okay. These are fine. We're going to have to... Next, we have to probably move with Atrium and then come in with Jack and then hopefully not draw the trap. And then we have to start Necromancing Eye again. But I can't Necromance Eye every single turn because it's just... It's going to... I mean, I might have to start doing that, but... Anyway, so memory lapse. We'll just go ahead and do this. So she's going to gain 3 insanity, is it? So she's going to gain 4 insanity. So she goes up to 6 insanity. And then suddenly you find yourself attacking something you've never seen before, +4 insanity. If you have blotted out, blah, blah, blah. Failure, she needs to roll a 1 to fail. So let's just go ahead. It's 2, still a hit, because she has 9 strength, +5 is 14. So it's still a hit. It's 1 wound. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at these 2. Ones that actually have stuff that could happen. Okay, the Slenderman staggers. Until the end of the attack, the monster suffers -2 toughness, and all reactions are cancelled. So we're going to go that one if we wound. Webs of icicles form the attacker's skin. If they're not wearing any fur armor, they are knocked down. Okay, so we're definitely going to go with this one and try to cancel all the reactions. So wound is probably going to happen. So anything but a 1 will be a wound. So let's go ahead. A 2. That's okay. Until the end of the attack, -2 toughness. It doesn't make a difference, but so this is a wound. Cancels all reactions. Let's go ahead. All reactions are canceled. It's got -, again, just anything but a 1. 3 is also a wound, so wound reactions canceled. Okay, how many hits does he have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 8 hits left. How many have I done? I think that's 8, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, he's about half dead. So that's... I'm in okay shape. I mean, Jill's dead, but what can I do? I'm in okay shape. I've got everybody pretty much healed up with the bandages. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's flip this one over because of Wisdom Potion. It's another memory lapse. That will get Jack some more insanity, which is what we need to do because then you can help. It helps for ensnaring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least to get him to there. Atrium will then block twice and hope to be attacked, I guess. Now Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll go to here. So that's going to cost him to surge once. So he's going to come down to 5 survival. And then he'll attack. So Black Sword's 3 speed. Accuracy 5 plus. It's got -1 evasion. So 3 speed, 4 plus. That's not a perfect hit, right? He doesn't have Timeless Eye or anything. Yeah, so not a perfect hit. He has Combo Master. No perfect hits. So that's 3 hits. Just not the trap. And then I got a... Okay, that's not bad. So this one... first, let's just resolve this one first. Then we'll look at the other 2 real quick. So again, this one just gives 4 insanity to Jack, which is what he needs to try to avoid ensnare. So 4 insanity to Jack. If you have blotted out, +3, he does not, but he can't fail to wound. So Jack, Black Sword's 10. He's got 3 strength. That's already 13. That's what the Slenderman has. So as long as he doesn't roll a 1. So a 3, that is a wound. Okay, now let's look at these other 2. Super dense, +2 to wound this. Won't matter to Jack, really. Place the monster 5 spaces away from the attacker. As far as possible, cancel all hits. Reflex, ensnare attacker. Bring the Slenderman to the center of the showdown board, cancel all hits. So I'd rather not be ensnared. So let's go to the super dense one first. Alright, so again, just a 1. Oh, he's got +2 toughness, so let's actually figure this out this time. So it's a 10. Jack has 3, that's 13. Okay, so it's just +2. So this time I could fail the wound if I don't roll a 3. No. So he's got 15. I have 13. So it's still just a 2. So yeah, it's still just a 1. A 3 is still, that's 16. So that's still a wound. Even with 2, that's 15. So it's still a wound. And then reflex, place monster 5 squares or 5 spaces from the attacker as far from other survivors as possible, and then cancel all other hits. So that cancels the one where he would have been ensnared, which is great. Let's look at this. I can leave up. This is the wound we're doing. So 5 spaces away. Again, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's just going to go over to here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's 5 spaces away. What is this one? That's another impervious. That's the impervious one again. Okay. So that's the end of the turn. So we shuffle these back up. He's almost dead here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got 6 hits left. It's not too bad. He's just got to... He's got to get him to teleport over here. And then maybe we could surge him down. Okay. So... Now it's his turn. We draw here. Whoop. Claw extend. We know none of these are really much shenanigans because we've already seen them. So there's not a lot of... one of these AI cards is pretty shenanigan-rific. I forget which one it was. Oh, no, that was the trap that did all the shenanigans. So these AI cards aren't that bad. So I think we're still in good shape here. Claw extend. Okay. Threat with most insanity. Unfortunately, that is Kenna at this time. She's got 6. Target's going to gain 2 insanity. So we don't need to dash away at that break. We'll give her 2 insanity. That will put her at 8. Now, perform gloom. So dashing doesn't make a difference here. We can't escape it even if we did anything. So might as well just stay as close to Atrium as we can so we can heal him again. Gloom is going to put him there because then he's the farthest away from Jack as he can be. This would put him right next to Atrium. So that's where he's going to go with Gloom. And then attack the target. So she still has her deflect up. So it's going to be 4 speed. 4 speed, accuracy. She's got 4 evasion. So that's going to be an 8+. It's got +1 accuracy. So it's a 4 speed, 7+. 4 speed, 7+. 1 hit. And she has her deflect. So she deflects this 4 speed. Deflect is now gone. Okay. It's not that bad of a card, all things considered. Okay. Well, this is the impervious one. Suddenly, well, Atrium. I might want it Fist and Tooth again. So let's see if we... What's Necromancer's Eye with Jack? So to look at 4. So we've seen this one. Let's look at the next 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's 4. Okay, no trap, which is great. So this is just the blotted out one. This one doesn't do anything. This is just impervious. We'll attack into that with Kenna. She'll get rid of it. This one is fine for Kenna. She'll gain more insanity. Doesn't matter. That's fine for her to avoid ensnaring. I doubt she'll fail. This is a first strike, though. So we could put this 4 down because Kenna only has 3 speed. So we'll put this as the 4th card down. She is wearing metal armor, too, because of the plated shield. So that might be a job for Jack to attack into that one. Is he wearing anything metal? Surprisingly, the heavy sword is not metal. Oh, Phoenix Placard is metal. So he's also wearing metal. Beacon Shield is metal. I can't avoid this first strike. So we'll put this down as the fourth one and attack into it, I guess, with Atrium. They're knocked down. Suffer a random severe body injury. No, we'll attack into it with Jack. So then this is the fourth card. So this is going to be the fourth card. We're putting this one in the bottom. Reflex. The attacker is not in the monster's blind spot. Their entire body seizes up and the attacker is knocked down. So that we could move into the blind spot with Kenna, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would have to dash. We'll dash into the blind spot to avoid this. So that's how we're going to do it. This first strike, because Kenna only has 3 speed. So we'll know that first strike's there. So that was Jack's turn, who Necromancered I. Now, what I said, we'll get to the blind spot. And that cost 1 survival to dash. So she comes down to 7. We'll see if she gets it back. She does not get it back. Now we will attack from the blind spot. So it's going to be Adventure Sword, 3 speed. She's got 3 accuracy, makes it a 3+. She's in the blind spot, makes it a 2+. It's got -1 evasion. So 3 speed, 2+. Wow, that was a bad roll, but doesn't matter. She gets all 3 hits. 1, the Impervious, 2, 3. We knew about these. We just looked at them. Let's just go ahead and resolve the Impervious. It doesn't matter. None of this happens. She doesn't gain any luck. We'll see if she's going to even luck this. So she did. She wounded it. Gain 1 survival in Dark Water. Perform basic action, target the attacker. I didn't want this to happen. Not at all did I want this to happen. I don't want Dark Water. Ugh, why did you have to crit this? I almost feel like I should just re-roll this. I feel like I should re-roll this. All right, I'm gonna re-roll it. I don't want to deal with this. I don't really want her to get basic attacked. So she's gonna crit again on an 8, but I'm re-rolling. I can't believe this. So what a waste of a re-roll. So I'm gonna gain the Dark Water. I don't do any damage. So I don't know if I'm gonna fulfill those. He'll still be in range unless he hits with the knockback 7. So that wasted my re-roll. So that sucks. Wasted reroll with her Infinite Lives. It's fine. Get another Dark Water. Again, I don't want it. So another Dark Water. So now he's going to Gloom, correct? Yeah, perform Gloom. So it's going to put him here. Or here, I guess. He's going to put him here. Now I'm not in the blind spot. I should have resolved that Impervious. No, well, yeah, I should have resolved the Impervious one last. What am I doing? Because it's not even a wound. That's so dumb. I should have resolved the Impervious one last. I just assumed it would be a failure and not have to worry about the card. Oh, I should have definitely done the Impervious one last. Oh well. Stupid mistake. Let's hope it doesn't cost me too much. So he's going to have 4 speed. It's going to be a 4+. She's got 4 evasion. It's got +1 accuracy. So it needs to be a 4 speed 7+. We just have to hope it doesn't hit anything. Yeah, 4 speed 7+. It's 2 hits, so of course it does hit. 2 hits for 5 damage apiece. 2 hits, 5 damage apiece. Here we go. Let's see where they're going to go. Hands and waist. Hands and waist will both be severe injuries. So we'll just take it now. Both be severe injuries. So both severe injuries. Any place it would have hit would have been a severe injury. So then knockback 7. Or, yeah, 1, 2. Well, I could go to here and hit the wall. No, I got to go here. Collide with Atrium, which is just super bad. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. He's going to go there. He's going to go there. She's going to collide into the stone things. When a survivor collides with this, stop their movement, archive the terrain, they suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. So she's going to suffer 1 more damage to a random hit location. To the head, which is fine. She comes down to 1 head. And then this is archived. So both of them are knocked down. And then let's do 2 severe injuries for Kenna. So severe injury to the waist was first. So an 8 on the waist. Making sudden movement is excruciating painful. You cannot surge until the showdown ends. Gain a bleeding token. Great. So she can't surge. Now, arms. Okay, arms for 10. Hit the dirt. Blow sends you... You're knocked down. Okay, well, she was knocked down anyway. So, these are now canceled. Yeah, those 2 are knocked down anyway. I guess I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to here with Jack because, like, I need this thing dead now. Kenna's... That was really bad. I get to play with this up. Oh, this is the first strike where he's going to be knocked down with any metal. So bad. So no, I don't want to do that. He's just going to be knocked down with any metal. I got to do that with Atrium, I guess. What am I going to do now? Well, I guess I encourage Atrium with Jack. So encourage Atrium with Jack. So Jack goes down to 4. Or no, I guess I should encourage Kenna. And then Kenna will encourage Jack, and we'll see if... And Kenna will encourage Atrium, so we'll see if Kenna gets it back. She does, so that gives her back 2. So she goes down to 6 to encourage, gains back 2 because of Thrill Seeker, so she's at 8. Survival, and then she encourages to go down to 7. No, she goes up to 8 by encouraging, and then, yeah, that's fine. So she can't surge now, which is not great, but at least everyone's standing. So let's go ahead, figure this last card out. Oh no, not this card again. Threat with the least insanity. Oh, that's Atrium. Good thing I stood him up. So threat with the least insanity. Target gains 4 insanity. So he goes up to 6 insanity now. Perform Gloom. So Gloom's just going to place here, which is fine. And then it's, again, 4 plus. I did say I was blocking with Atrium, right? I don't see why I wouldn't have blocked with him. All I did was move over to here so he could get healed. Pretty sure when I moved over to here, so Kenna could get him with the bandage, I didn't do anything else. So I'm pretty sure I said he was blocking too. So either way, so blocking 2, 6. So he's got 6 evasion. This has +1 accuracy. So it's going to be at a 9 or a 10 to hit with 4 speed, 9 or a 10 to hit. That's 2 hits. Good thing I blocked 2. So none of this happens. What can I do now? This is getting a little bit out of hand. He's got 6 hits left. I guess I just attack with Atrium to get him to be knocked down. So just going to attack with Atrium. Attack with the Riot Mace, which is 2 speed, 5+. It's got -1 evasion, so it's 2 speed, 4+. He's got 1 accuracy. 2 speed, 3+. That's 1 hit. It's actually perfect hit. Does he get anything perfect hits? No. So perfect hit. We know what it is. It's going to be the stupid first strike, which is going to knock him down because of the reflex, but that's fine unless we crit. Critting would be great. So he crits on a 9 because the Riot Mace is deadly. So critting on a 9. Not a crit. I wonder if that's even a hit. That is a hit. Riot Mace has 5 strength. Atrium has 4 strength, which is a 9. Plus 5 is 14. He's only got 13 toughness. So that is a wound. And then now he's not... Or no, he's going to suffer a random severe body injury. So Atrium does wound. Now he's going to suffer a random severe body injury. Oh, I was going to roll for a body. But no. A 10. What is that? That's good, right? Sends you sprawling. You're knocked down. So he's just knocked down. So we're going to encourage him right away. Well, maybe. I guess I should encourage him right away just in case some other shenanigans take place. So spending survival with Jack, he comes down to 3. Courage Atrium. Atrium will now surge and block. So he's going to come down to 6. Survival. To block 2. And that looks like that. So now let's go with Kenna, who can't do it. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I get to see this card. Failure and Snares. Silent Boots. I guess I should... a Necromancer's Eye with Jack. Yeah, it's Necromancer's Eye with Jack and look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's pretty good there. So Kenna's going to attack with us in 3 speed. This is unlikely to happen. This is likely to happen. Place the attacker in the furthest unknown or unoccupied corner of the showdown board. Don't want that to happen. This is also bad because the attacker would definitely be insane. Place the monster 5 spaces away. So it looks like we can get 2 wounds out of this with Kenna. Before it's going to move away. So I'd rather just do the 5 spaces away. And then these are just... this will be the bottom one. So then we can discard this absolutely just nuts one. Yeah. So let's go ahead and... discard that one to this one. Right? Is that what I wanted? Let me look at this again. I want... This one is probably not going to happen. She's going to wound. Then he's going to move 5 spaces away. Place the attacker in the farthest. This just causes 4 damage. Okay, yeah. So I do want the pale forearms at the bottom because it's just going to cause damage. So, yes. 1, 2, 3. We'll go there. We'll attack with Kenna now, just for 3 speed. We know we're only going to get 2 deep. So, yeah, we know we're only going to be 2 deep on this. So 3 speed, 6+. She's got 3 accuracy, brings it down to a 3+, -1 accuracy. So 2+ to hit, but we know we can only go... So that's 3 hits. We know what they're going to be. We know we can only go 2 deep. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to go with the failure first, then the one where it moves. So yeah, we just talked about these. So first, the failure, which is probably unlikely to happen. She's got 5 strength. She's got 14 strength already. So it just needs anything but a 1. A 7 is not a critical, but it is a wound. That's a wound. Now this is the one that's going to send it away unless I crit, I guess. So she crits on a 9. No, an 8. She crits on an 8. But oh, so there we go, crit. The stench of the sun, earth, attacker suffers 3 brain damage. So that brings her down to 5. I didn't really want that to happen. I kind of wanted him to move away. Okay, so that's an extra damage because the reflex is canceled. Now, extra damage. This one I was kind of hoping to discard this. So attacker's going to gain 4 insanity. That puts her up to 9. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to discard this. Well, okay. So she crits on an 8 now, and then wounds on anything but a 1. She didn't wound. I was hoping to discard this, and I mean, I would like to wound. Okay, so I didn't wound. She's got 3 hits left. I get to see that. Well, I know what this is. This next one's terrible. Okay, well, it's going to be one of these 2 cards now. So he's got 3 hits left. I just need to make sure. Pale forearms. I'm going to hat the cat eye. I'm going to Necromancer's Eye. I'm going to Surge now, just in case I get imprisoned or something. So Surging now with Jack to Necromancer's Eye. That's 1, 2. Okay, so there's the trap. That's 2, 3, 4. I get to put these back in any order. So obviously the trap goes on the bottom. Then this one will be above it. This is another reflex, and this is another metal weapon. Oh no, if this location is hit with a metal weapon. Okay. Adventure Sword is not metal. Black Sword is also not metal. So that should be fine. So we're going to put that one on top, this one, and then that weird one. Okay. So now the trap's way down at the bottom again. The trap is 4 cards away, so I could Necromancer's Eye one more time to get it down to the last card if I need to, because he's only got 3 hits left. Okay. Drawing. Claw Extend. Threat with most insanity. That's going to be Kenna. There's no way I can escape this. There's nothing I can do to escape this. Okay. Target gains 1 insanity, so she's going to go up to 11. Oh, yes. So it should be 4 speed. What is it? 4 speed, accuracy, 4 plus. She's got 4 evasion, so it's accuracy 8 plus. He's got +1 accuracy, so 4 speed, 3 plus. 4 speed. Oh no, 4 speed, 7 plus. 4 speed, 7 plus. That's 1 hit, which I'll dodge. So she's going to dodge this, see if I get it back. I don't get it back. So she did dodge this. It's fine. Don't get the survival back. She goes down to 7. Okay. Gloom technically would have put him here. So. Alright. What was this? She hits with a metal weapon. Okay, so I'm just going to attack with Kenna. Because she does not have a metal weapon. I know the next 3 cards are relatively safe. What was the next 3 cards? Yeah, the next 3 cards are relatively safe. Okay. So attacking with Kenna. She's going to have 3 speed. 6 plus. She's got 3 actually. She's a 3 plus. It's got -1 evasion. So it's going to be 3 speed, 2 plus. I missed 1, which is not great, but that's okay. So I draw the top 2. Yeah, so this one with the metal thing, we don't have to worry about that because the sword's not metal. So if the location is hit with a metal weapon, it's not. Adventure Sword's not metal, so we don't have to worry about any of this. She just wounds on anything but a 2, or anything but a 1. She's going to wound, crit on a 8. I'm going to re-roll this, I guess. Who still has infinite lives left? I guess I spend Atrium's infinite lives to re-roll this. Yeah, I'm going to have to spend Atrium's infinite lives to re-roll this. Now, no one has infinite lives left. That's actually... Okay, so it's a critical this time, but do I want it to be? Attacker suffers 3 brain damage. Okay, so that brings her down to 8. That's still a wound. It's a critical, so it cancels the wound anyway, but... So that's 1 wound. Now this one, Tagger gains 3. So she gains 4, goes back up to 12. Okay. Oh, so this reflex is going to happen unless I crit. So crit on an 8 or wound on a 2. That's a wound. So the reflex is going to happen, but that's the wound here. So he's just got 1 hit left. Now the reflex. Place the monster 5 spaces away from the attacker. Okay. Oh, it's actually good I didn't crit. I just saw it in snares. 5 spaces away. It's going to go that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away from the attacker. Actually, maybe this way. No, this... I think I had equidistance choice. That way or that way. They were both the same. Actually, this way is more. Right? 1, 2... Yeah, this way... Because it's away from the attacker. So I count from the attacker. So, see, she was here, but... It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away from the attacker. So it only goes here. Just 1 hit left now. Kenna cannot surge anymore, which sucks. But basic attack is always going to be closest threat. So this is fine. So as long as I a Necromancer's Eye right now, which is 3 cards left, and I just put the trap on the bottom. Okay, so he has 1 wound left. So this Parts Unknown is a reflex, so I'll get a chance to wound it. And then ignore this reaction of attacking with Fist and Tooth, but I'm going to kill it. So I'm going to put the trap on the bottom. This other one would undo the wound, so it would stay alive. So I have 1 chance here with Parts Unknown with no rerolls left. But I'm going to gain a reroll right now. I'm going to consume the Dark Water with Kenna. So you may consume and archive this to remove all your disorders and then gain a random disorder. She can't gain disorders. She gains back her infinite lives. She's going to get herself a clean slate, removing her Hoarder, her Emotionless, and her Megalophobia, then gain another random disorder, but she won't. And she's going to, just basically she's just cleaned her slate by drinking that and gained another life, or gave back her infinite life. Reroll. So, we just now need to attack with her. So now we just need to block 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to there. Or actually, just close the survivor. We'll just bring him over here. Because he's going to perform Gloom anyway. Because that's what the basic action does. We'll actually move even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll even get to there, just in case. So that's that. There's no cards left, so he's just going to perform basic action, which is going to be closest threat, which is going to be Atrium. And then he's going to perform Gloom and put himself here, I guess? No, this is 1, 2, 3. That's 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. They're both 4 spaces away, so he'll just go there. And then attack. So got block 2. This is going to be a speed 4. Speed 4. Accuracy. Atrium has 6 evasion. So accuracy. He's got +1 accuracy. So his accuracy 9+, and he's got block 2. So 9+ accuracy, speed 4, block 2. 2 actually hit, so he's going to block 2. And that's that. That's for the basic action. Now, come on, Kenna. Basically, Kenna. No. I need someone who has low speed to hit this because I can't reveal the trap. So it needs to be low speed and do 1 wound. So the only person who has low... Well, I kind of can fist and tooth it to death, I guess. Is it better for me to fist and tooth with Kenna? So if I fist and tooth with Kenna, she has 5 strength. That would mean I would wound on a... No, it's better for the Riot Mace. It's just better for the Riot Mace. Okay, attacking with Atrium and the Riot Mace, which is 2 speed, 5+. It's got -1 evasion. He's got 1 accuracy. So it's a 2 speed, 3+. 2 speed, 3+. 2 hits. So I'm going to draw both these cards, which I know I buried the trap at the bottom. I just want this 1 reflex. Yeah. You know, now that I'm thinking about this again, I think even if I miss and I hit this one, the wound reaction's canceled because it's going to die. Either way, both these reactions are going to be canceled. So, we'll just go with the parts unknown, like we had said. All we need to do is wound it. So, the reflex is going to happen no matter what. Otherwise, something unseen swallows your weapon. If the attacker is adjacent to the monster... Oh, no, we don't want... So we want this one on top. Because the wound reaction is going to be canceled anyway. So, because it's going to die. So we're going to try to wound it. We've got 5 strength with the Riot Mace. 4 strength from Atrium's. A 4. That means he's going to wound on a... Because the thing has 13 toughness. So he's going to wound on a 4+. And crit on a 9. So 4+, critting on a 9... That's it. That's the wound. It cancels the reaction because it dies. And that's the end of the Slenderman. That fight was pretty ridiculously tense there after that trap. So that kills it. Yeah, that fight was not fun during the trap time. Okay, so rewards. +1 weapon proficiency if eligible. No one's eligible for weapon proficiency. Jack can gain a sword weapon proficiency, I guess. So, good job, sword weapon proficiency, Jack. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and roll on the Aftermath. No one gains any hunt experience. So, rewards. The settlement does not already have it. Gain the Darkwater Research Innovation, which we do. Roll 1d10 and add the Slenderman's level to the result. The group gains any listed gear. Add them to the settlement storage. So, yeah, so we're adding +2 to this roll. 8. 7 to 8. A glint on sodden ground. Gain 1 dark water and 1 iron. Okay. Dark water and iron. So we gained 2 dark water for this. Would have gained 3, but I ate 1 to try to remove, or to get the basic, or to get back my infinite lives. And 1 iron. So, okay, we got iron. And we have face painting, but we did not fight a level 3. So, that's the end of the Slenderman fight. That was pretty crazy. We're going to go ahead right now, do the settlement phase. So let me get all set up for that. Alright. Settlement phase time. Look. I look like I'm back in the intro. I did the intro before I did settlement phase. So, it's almost like nothing ever happened. For me, it's only been a minute. So, let's get into the settlement phase. So, as you can see down here, we don't have Jill anymore. Also, again, this is the first time I'm actually testing the camera as I'm playing. And so let me know. I'm going to do the regular old editing and everything for... With this will be in the bottom corner, and you'll have the regular old camera. So, again, I only got 1 new camera. So the new camera is on me right now. This is still the old camera, the one I used to do the Showdown. Again, as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to try to figure out ways to use the newer camera to do the Showdown as well. You know, I wanted to ensure that the Showdown got recorded. And with the settlement phase, even if this doesn't happen, I still have my mic recording elsewhere. That one will still be there. Worst case comes, there's just no settlement thing down here in the bottom right corner, or left corner, whichever side. If there's no settlement camera, that means I didn't like some setting on it. It means I didn't like the autofocus, or I didn't like... Right now I have the autofocus on because, I don't know, I got a nice lens and everything. It's first try. So, if it looks bad in editing, then you won't even see me doing anything. You won't even know what I'm doing right now. You'll just hear the audio and just see this video. But let's get into the settlement phase. So, unfortunately, Jill didn't make it. We lost Necromancer. That's just a shame. It is what it is. Kenna ate herself some more dark water. Last time she ate dark water, it was interesting for her character. We'll see what happens this time when she eats that dark water. Now we have was it 8 endeavors, 7 endeavors, which there's not much we can do here. Now I'm gonna play this just in case everybody decides, you know what, play season 2 out to the Gold Smoke Knight, and switch Yisa with Kenna and keep the same rules. You know, there's another thing also. You can also comment if you'd like to see Yisa just go out. Because if you feel you want Season 2 to end and you want Yisa to be there for the Watcher, maybe I fudge that rule and we just have her go out for the Watcher. If you would like to see pretty much the secondary... What she turned into the secondary main character of the season. So, if you want to see her there for the Watcher, if everybody votes for... Put Yisa in the fight, let her fight the Watcher, or maybe we'll do something weird where instead of summoning a retinue, we just summon Yisa and she comes and kills it. I mean, she doesn't need to... I don't need the retinues even. So, that's another option. Again, I didn't want to mention all this stuff in the intro because I like to leave the intro a little bit less spoilery, right? And at the same time, I don't want to always record the intro before knowing what happens in the fight, because then I might have to interject. I remember one time, there's been twice where I've had to interject. Once with the Flower Knight, and once with something else in Season 1. I ended up having to jump in because I made a big mistake. Luckily, Season 2, I haven't done that much. Minor mistakes. Let's go to the settlement phase. We have we'll draw this, and then I was about to say what we're gonna do. Like I said, I'm gonna plan like we're going Season 2 full ahead, so it's gonna seem like I'm doing weird things. Because let's say the season ends, there's better ways to spend the endeavors. But say the season doesn't end, then these are the best ways to spend these endeavors. That's how I'm looking at it, just in case, right? Or maybe I come back. The other thing is I can come back to Season 2 and when Gambler's Chest comes out, and maybe we'll get some early fights with the King. Maybe I'll run Gambler's Chest campaign in full without doing anything, but maybe we'll see what a fight looks like, and we'll have Yisa go up against the King. So, you know, it's always nice to have a settlement in your back pocket. So, let's go ahead and roll. So we have 5 cards down. 1, 2, 4. 5th card. Open Maw. Literally, this is the same thing I just drew last time. Really wants me to do this, I guess. So a large stone face slowly opens its mouth. Survivors prove their bravery by running into it. So this is just a nothing. Open Maw is nothing. I mean, I shuffled, I rolled, you saw it. Alright, now, let's, as I was talking, so Jill, unfortunately Jill passes away. We have to do Watched real quick, and then we'll jump into what we're doing. So let's just do Watched. We're romantic, so we're going to go with, I think it's the Final Fighting Art for romantic. I can't remember. It's after Zero Presence, right? No, it's before Showdown Watcher. Here it is, Watched. Dark spots spread across the lantern horde. A nervous hush falls over the settlement. Slowly, the most daring survivors peer past the darkened lanterns, venturing beneath them into a vast chamber, unknown and undreamed of. Slumbering in the center of the chamber, its survivors can feel the presence of immense danger. Their ultimate predator would soon awake, extinguishing the lantern light that holds the endless darkness at bay. Starting with this settlement phase, the survivors may awaken and face the sleeping menace. So we're going to do that right away. We're awakening and facing the sleeping menace. Move Nemesis Encounter Watcher, the current lantern year. We are doing that, so it's going to be 20. You cannot move it to a year that already has a Nemesis Encounter. It doesn't right now. Settlement has a different response based on their conviction. So barbaric response, we're not going to do that. We have romantic response. The survivors decide they must learn the perfect fighting art to prepare themselves. Gain the final fighting art. So we gained it, and now we've lost it. This does not count towards your settlement's innovation total. Good, because we lost it right away. Nominate a survivor and roll a d10. So we will nominate a survivor. What we will do is I'm going to nominate... where was she? Just Valentine, the newest survivor we got for the Valentine's Day event. We will nominate her, and we will go ahead and roll and see what happens. 5, is that Bone Witch? Yep, 5 is Bone Witch. So without saying a word, the survivor runs into the darkness, never to be seen again. Add Bone Witch to the timeline 4 years from now. So Valentine's dead. I'm assuming, it doesn't say she died, but I'm assuming, I've always played it that she dies. Because she's never to be seen again. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Barbaric, they don't die. I don't know. You should really put dead or they are dead on there like you do everything else. So anyway, I'm just going to assume she dies. So we'll gain another endeavor. And then add Bone Witch to the timeline 4 years from now. So Valentine just died. We'll add Bone Witch to the timeline 4 years from now. So we're moving the Nemesis up, Lantern Year 20. 4 years from now would be, we're Lantern Year 20, so 21, 22, 24 is Bone Witch. That's after the Butcher. We've had so many Bone Witches. That would be our 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th Bone Witch if we continue this season. So Jill is also, unfortunately, dead. We only get one during the settlement, right? Where is Graves? So I was during the showdown is 2, 1 for the settlement. Yeah, just wanted to make sure. So 1 for the settlement. Ugh. All right, now let's just do things just in case. Like I said, I want to make sure we do things as if we're still playing. So spending 1 endeavor to innovate. We're going to. This will be the last innovation we can do, and. We have to spend the perfect organ here that we had left over from the Lion God. Then, here it is right here. We'll also spend white fur and a lion claw. So that's the hide and the bone. And we'll innovate. And, I mean, Nightmare, this is the last time. So Nightmare training would be good. Also, cooking. Those are the 2 things we're looking for. I don't know which one we'll take if we get it. If we get both, I mean. Maybe cooking? Shrine? I don't know. Nightmare training. If this is cooking, we'll take it. Otherwise, it's nightmare training. Cooking. So, nightmare training. These are family, shrine, scarification. Doesn't matter. Nightmare training is what we're going to take. Departing survivors get 1 survival. Would also be nice. But I think I'd rather have the weapon proficiency, because if we do continue, I'm going to need to really push shield and fist and tooth. Like, I'm going to need to nightmare train like all the time to push shield and fist and tooth. So there we go. We never got cooking. We've got nightmare training now. It's a thing we could do right now even. So I'll leave it out. Next, spend 2 endeavors to get back infinite lives. Kenna has it, so we'll get it back with Jack. And we'll get it back with Atrium. There we go, infinite lives. Now we're bringing Leo out, unless we bring Yisa. But I'm going on the intent we're bringing Leo out, and not Yisa, because that's the rules. She's retired. So, Leo is going to need to roll a 6+ to try to get infinite lives himself. So spending 1, an 8. That's infinite lives. I forgot to even grab sculpture, but we do. Infinite lives is on our sculpture. So I'll grab it real quick. Oh, it was right on top. I just forgot to pull it out. So on 6+, he rolled an 8. He gets infinite lives. Good job, Leo. So infinite lives. Now, if again, I'm playing if just in case we continue season 2. Now I'm going to spend 1 endeavor and 2 resources and 2 dark water, because we got the 2 dark water to upgrade our thing to level 2, right? I'm almost positive we did not upgrade that. Lantern research is not level 2, so we'll need to do that. Or maybe we doesn't. I don't have it written here. If we upgraded lantern research, I never wrote it down. Maybe I did. If I did, then oh well. But I didn't. I don't see it here. And I have dark water research, but I didn't put level 2 next to it. So I'm putting level 2 next to it now. So we got level 2 dark water research. So that means we can make Gloomhammer if we continue. I have to spend, what is it? It's just 2 resources. So 2 things. Fresh acanthus. We're down to 2 fresh acanthus. So we're down to 2 fresh acanthus. I'll show dark water research here. So this is the Slenderman thing. It costs 2 resources and 2 dark water. So we'll just spend 2 acanthus. Okay, that leaves us with 2 things left. I don't have an organ. Originally, I thought maybe I would. That's why I pulled pottery out. Maybe I would do the love juice thing. We could always nightmare train right now. Nightmare training for I don't even know. Otherwise, we just shared experience for Leo just to get him some stuff. But, yeah, I think shared experience for Leo just to level him up so he could depart with a proficiency or something. I guess. I don't know. Otherwise, the other thing I could do is just scrap scavenge. I was thinking about just scrap scavenging 3 times with someone who had a bunch of survival. Could do that too, just because if we do continue playing, it'd be nice to have more iron. We're very lacking on iron. We could just scrap scavenge with Phil. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just scrap scavenge with Phil and get some broken lanterns. So let's just do that. Scrap scavenge for the 1 right now. 8. I think that's good, right? Yeah, broken lantern. So that's 1 broken lantern. Thank you, Phil. It's 1 broken lantern. Here he goes again. 8. Another broken lantern. That's 2. And last one. 6 is also broken lantern, right? Yeah, it is. That's 3 broken lanterns. That worked out pretty good, actually. Total waste because, you know, the exhausted lantern horn's much better for getting broken lanterns, but it's nice that we just basically got an iron right there. So, that's good. Not that bad. So, that's it. This is episode 39. So that means episode 40 now is The Watcher. A very nice 40-episode season, if that turns out to be the case. Otherwise, it will be much like the other one. We'll go to 50. Because it will be 10 more years. Or no, I don't know what it would go to. It would go till 60. Either way. Thank you so much for watching. It's so very humbling. I'm so glad that people enjoy this. It's still fun for me. Hopefully the camera improves everything. I hope so. I'm looking forward to using it more. Again, please forgive me. This was the first time I'm recording with it. I saw some of it as I'm watching it. The autofocus kicked in a little bit. I had to learn to dismantle the autofocus. I had to dismantle the lens, but apparently the camera still decided to do it. Either way, Thank you so much. It's so very humbling, and I'll see you in what might be the final episode of Season 2